Good evening and welcome to Justeventonline News at 9. I am Anifat Ismail. The news headlines. Tinubu seeks federal lawmakers backing on state police. Federal government set 2030 to have road crash death. Edun advocates national single window for economic stability. Federal government assures equitable development, prosperity beyond party lines. Olukoyede urged Nigerians on transparency, accountability. NARD insists on strike as over 2,000 doctors owed. FCCPC to battle digital lending abuse. Northern elders demand state of emergency over insecurity. Now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has expressed his administration's readiness to work with the National Assembly leadership to dismantle political and bureaucratic bottlenecks, stalling the operationalization of state police. Speaking at the State House, Abuja, during a meeting with members of the Northeast Governors Forum, led by Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Zulum, the president said the time had come for a clear and collective path towards community-led based policing that reflects the peculiar needs of different regions. The president said his government was committed to ensuring that the proposed structure will be insulated from partisanship and designed purely to strengthen safety across communities. Vice President Kashim Shettima has called for concrete and collaborative efforts to reduce road crash fatalities and injuries in Nigeria by 50% by the year 2030. Shettima also stakeholders to embrace global best practices and implement realistic strategies to enhance safety on the nation's highway. He made a call at the 8th annual lecture series of the Federal Road Safety Course on Wednesday in Abuja. The Vice President described the theme as timely and relevant, noting that it aims to address the growing challenges in the road transportation sector by drawing on international best practices. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Edun, has stated that implementing the National Single Window Project will significantly transform trade facilitation in Nigeria and reinforce the stabilization of the economy. This was contained in a statement by the National Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Customs Service, Abdullahi Maiwada. Edun explained that the initiative, scheduled for rollout in the first quarter of 2026, will integrate digital automation and enhance efficiency in import and export processes. The federal government has assured equitable development and prosperity for all Nigerians, irrespective of political affiliation, regional orientation, tribal or religious backgrounds. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, gave the assurance when the Commissioners of Information from the state paid him a courtesy visit in Abuja. While noting that they belong to different political parties, the minister said the most important thing is to ensure that Nigeria is doing great in different spheres of human endeavors. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has urged Nigeria to imbibe the culture of transparency and accountability to fully eradicate corruption in the country. The chairman of the FCC, Olukoyede made a call at the 12th annual conference of the Association of Communication Scholars and Professionals of Nigeria in Edun, Delta State. Represented by Mr. Williams Osegale, the EFCC boss said good governance could be attained if we collectively play our roles as good citizens, added that every challenge around Nigeria's socio-economic development can be traced to the consequences of corruption. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has reiterated its resolve on Wednesday to embark on a nationwide strike on September 10 if the federal government and its relevant agencies fail to meet its demands. The president of NARD, Dr. Tope Oshunara, would disclose this, said the association met with the federal government on Monday, but the discussions yielded no positive outcome. The doctors, however, condemned the failure of the federal government to fulfill its promises. All digital lenders operating in Nigeria have been directed by the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission to register with it within 3 months. It said failure to do so will attract up to 100 million fine or 1% of such firms' annual turnover, as well as the closure or ban of their directors. The new set of laws by the Commission is aimed at addressing rising consumer complaints against digital lenders such as mobile money operators, digital money lenders, and their service partners. The Northern Elders Forum has urged President Bola Tinubu to declare a state of emergency in northern Nigeria, citing the worsening scale of insecurity and the government's constitutional and international obligation to protect lives. In a communique signed by its spokesperson, Professor Abubakar Jidari, on Wednesday, the forum demanded a state of emergency in northern Nigeria, acknowledging the extraordinary scale of the crisis. It called on the government to deploy adequately trained, armed, and equipped security forces with clear rules of engagement to protect civilian populations and secure international border regions. And that will be all on Justeventonline news at 9. Here's the recap of the story. Tinubu seeks federal lawmakers backing on state police. Federal government sets 2030 to have road crash death. Edun advocates national single window for economic stability. Federal government assures equitable development, prosperity beyond party lines. Olukoyede urged Nigerians on transparency, accountability. NARD insists on strike as over 2,000 doctors owed. FCCPC to battle digital lending abuse. Northern elders demand state of emergency over insecurity. Thank you for watching Justeventonline news. Never allow hatred or envious control you, as it kills both physical and spiritual well-being. For more news, visit www.justeventonline.com, and to read more updates, follow us on our social media platforms with a tap at Justeventonline. You can also send us an email on justeventonline@gmail.com. I'm an Ifat Ismail. Good night.